and making revisions today. Last month, we talked about placing the order. You've quoted it, you've sold it, you've placed the order. We do drawing confirmations, and now it's time to do revisions prior to putting the job into production. So you would have, when you submitted the order, received the notice saying, here's your job number, and this is the 6-digit number. You're going to talk with us about your job, the Smith job 193506 or whatever. So what we're looking for when you've submitted the order is the written order, numbered, floor plans and elevations also numbered to support that, overall cabinet dimensions, center lines, molding placements, and accessories or appliances. So that's what your project manager is going to review. When we send you back a drawing, you're going to get this email, and it's going to ask you to go to your job master. If you're already logged in to CWP Partner, this will take you directly to your home page, to your jobs. If not, it'll take you to your login page so you can sign in. And so you're going to start on the basic tab. You're going to have communications. This is a PDF of these questions. You're next going to have a drawing. And then your questions from the project manager can be answered right here. By clicking on the word click, it'll open up a window for you to type your answer, which will be saved on the computer you're working on. So if you're working on a laptop or a tablet at home and you save an answer and then you go to the office and sign in on your desktop, that answer is not there. You also need to understand that your project manager cannot see those answers until you submit the revision. Those are stored on your device. We have no access to it. So after you've answered the questions, or you're looking at the drawings to look at pricing, and this is where you're going to find your drawings, you go to your pricing tab where you can see your current revision. You can also see the history of all the revisions on this job. And as you choose different revisions, submitted documents and published documents are going to change back to the other revisions. You'll also get a warning, caution, you're not on the most current revision. But your submitted documents obviously are what you've sent to us, and the published documents are your drawings and a PDF of the questions typically. By choosing the printer icon, you can print out your pricing. You have summary, detail, and then rooms, whether in this case there's only one, but if you had multiple rooms, you can choose one or all. As a best practice, I recommend always printing both a summary and a detail. The detail pricing, if you have multiple rooms, will total each room, but it won't give you the job total. The summary page will give you the total for each room as well as for the job. Your detail pricing looks very much like your order entry. and then the questions here. But if you go to the basic tab, you're going to be able to answer those questions and not have to print this out or download it, answer questions, scan it again, upload it. And your project's also always going to include your drawings. So we want you to make red line revisions on your drawings. And this is a drawing that is not very helpful to the project manager. You need to keep it as clean and as concise as you can. And hopefully you're limiting your revisions, and we want you on any particular revision to only send us one red line. Don't do the kitchen. If the kitchen and the bathroom are on the same job, don't do the kitchen today and send it in and then want to come back tomorrow and do the bathroom, because at that point you cannot send another revision. When you're doing revisions, you're doing them directly on our drawings. And if there are no corrections on a page, we'd like you to send every page back. And if this first page is good, mark it as okay and send that along. Then you're going to start doing notes and revisions, things we need to add to your drawings. You've gone and done your check measure and found out that you're slightly off, or in the interim, the window moved, or maybe you got a wrong dimension to begin with. So in this case, the overall length is changing from 114 to 115. Heights of cabinets are tweaking, widths of cabinets are tweaking, adding some extra wide stiles with scribes, finishing the ends of the cabinetry here. So when you do red lines, you can print it off, handwrite on it, scan it, email it back with your revision. You can also, using Adobe Reader and their comment option, you can put notes directly on a PDF that you've opened, which is how all of these notes have been added to this drawing. You can also use the markup tool in iOS if you're using a phone or an iPhone or an iPad. Don't send us revised drawings of the room showing these new dimensions. Make the changes here, and that suffices. And you do not have to go back through your pricing and say that we printed out for you that says, oh, I've changed this cabinet from 30.5 to 31. Our estimators will pick all of that up as they make the revision. So save yourself a little bit of time there. When you've made the red lines on your drawings, you're going to go back to the basic tab and you're going to click on new revision. We're going to ask you to confirm the install target date. Every time we communicate about this job, we're talking about installed target dates. To upload your PDFs, it's add a document. So red lines, sketches, information. Maybe you're going to send a particular appliance spec. You do have to add those drawings one at a time, or those files. And then if you haven't answered the questions yet, you can answer those right here. At the bottom, there's a button that says commit responses, answers to the questions, and submit a new revision. At that point, it's all electronically handled. It's in our queue to be revised. Normal circumstances, you will see a revision back in 2 business days. And then you can go through that same process again. Once we've gone through the revisions, hopefully once, maybe twice, you're ready to put it into the shop. And to do that, we're back on the basic tab. We're going to click on enter into shop. You cannot have any questions open if you're trying to enter a job into shop. If the only revision is an answer to a question, call your project manager, talk through the answer, they'll clear it, and then you'll be able to put it in revision. So when you get to the enter in shop, we have a whole lot of things you have to approve. You're going to approve the job information. You're going to approve the warranty address as well as the delivery address. We have updated the way we do warranty limitations. So in the past, if you had oversized doors and over height doors and something that was outside our norm and we were asking you to sign a warranty waiver, you had multiple warranty waivers to sign. What we're doing now is asking you to agree to these warranty limitations. And at the top, you're acknowledging that we've talked about this and that you've set the proper expectations with the client with this information, so that we all are on better footing when the job's delivered. Once you've answered all of anything that's got a red exclamation point, you're going to go to the bottom and click on save. Anything that is not cleared will prevent you from saying save. Delivery expectations. Our normal lead times are spelled out. If you were to pick a date because it would let you, but that's later than you really want the job, when you click on I was hoping for something sooner, it will open a separate calendar and you can pick any date you want. Doesn't mean you'll get it, but you can ask for it. And that alerts our production scheduler that even though normal lead time might be 9 weeks, it would really help you if we could get it to you in 7 weeks. And if he's got a production slot, he'll try to slip it in there. So once it's been approved for production, right now we're at 7 to 8 weeks on stain, 8 to 9 weeks on paints, glazes. If you are ordering slab doors, you should be thinking in terms of adding a week. Typically within a week of approving a job, you will get a ship date. and the ship date is the day the truck leaves St. Mary's, Kansas. It is not necessarily the day it's going to arrive at your location. You'll get a call approximately a week ahead to confirm location, contact information, any last minute instructions. If you've scheduled a job for job site delivery and a week out, you find out it has to go to your warehouse or to a different location, you don't have to stress over getting that information to us prior to our calling you to confirm. You can change the delivery location at that point. So we want good orders to begin with, do the redlining, answer all your questions in the basics tab, get your revisions done, and then click on enter into shop. Nothing can happen in terms of scheduling until you've entered the job into shop. This is a something we were asked, to talk about gaps from the ceiling. You have a detail on your drawing, crown detail, and how do we get there? And so I'm just going to walk you through how we do it. And I'll preface this by saying you are not required to do all the math. But I think we all know that planning to run cabinets tight to the ceiling is a dangerous proposition, unless they build floors and ceilings more level and more parallel where you are than where I've worked all my career. You've got to have a gap at the ceiling. And so this is an example of a one-piece crown where we're mounting the crown directly to the face frame of the cabinet. And we've got an 1.5 inch gap. We're using a shaker cove molding, which is 2.5 inches high. We want a 5/8 reveal between the top of the door and the crown. And in marginal overlay, we know that's a 7/8 overlay. So by starting with a 2.5 crown height and deducting the gap to the ceiling, in this case, 1.5 inches, we know the crown's going to overlay on the face frame by 1 inch. We add the 5/8 reveal, we're 1 5/8. We add a 7/8 door overlay, and we know the top crown is now 2.5 inches. And you're welcome to do that math if you want to, but you don't have to. But it's the reason we want to know where you're putting the cabinet, how much reveal you want between the crown and the door. As I'm sure you're all aware, we can do up to 4-inch high top rails at no charge. I still know a lot of designers who like to do 2-piece crowns. So doing a 2-piece crown, you're going to have a gap to the ceiling. You've got your crown. You're going to have a spacer. And on that spacer molding, there's a reveal, and then a reveal from the door to the spacer molding and the overlay. So in a 2-piece application, that's a little different to calculate it. We're going to take the crown, and I just decided we're going to have 5-inch reveal on the starter. So we go to 7.5. We add our reveal on the door to the starter, the overlay. So we're a total of 9 inches down from the ceiling to the bottom of that top rail. And you define the gap to the ceiling. In this case, I chose 5 inches, which left me with a 4-inch top rail. If you said it was 6 inches, you'd have a 3-inch top rail. And so hand sketches like this can be very beneficial to your project manager. But I've created a form for my dealers, which you can just fill in the information. And basically the upper portion is setting up the room, and then for a 1-piece crown. The lower